I'm Dr. Robbie's Motorcycle, and this is the weekly recap for March 22nd to March 28th. Little bit of a slow week this week, I'll admit. There's not a whole lot happening. There's not a whole lot coming out either. So mainly it's like re-releases, ports, things like that that are coming out this week. There is one new game coming out, but we'll get to that. What is coming out, though, is first and foremost on the 25th, we have a couple of games coming out. We have Tales of the Shire coming out for the Switch 2. I remember when it came out for other consoles, I believe, and that's it. I just remember that it came out. I think. It's quite honestly so not been on my radar that if it didn't come out, I wouldn't notice. I'm not a big Hobbit fan. I mean, I like Lord of the Rings to the point where I've got all but one achievement in Shadow War. I don't give a shit about the Hobbits mainly. Like, that's the one part I don't really care about. Also, on that same day, we have Warframe coming out for the Switch 2 as well. So if you're a Warframe fan and a Nintendo fan, don't know why you would be, you could play Warframe on the Switch now. Switch 2, I mean, on the second one. Coming out on the 26th is our one new game of the week. It's a Life is Strange Reunion. It's the sequel to like Max and Chloe's whole thing. I never played the first game all the way through. I played a little bit of a demo when I was younger. I think it was the first episode because that's what was free. And it was cool, I guess. It wasn't really my thing, but, it was cool. And that's coming out for the PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC on the 26th. So every platform, but the Switch mainly, which I feel like is cutting off your main demographic there, because I feel like if people own a Switch, people are into Life is Strange, they probably also own a Switch. What do I know? I don't play those games. Next up, on the 27th, we have the Marvel Maximum Collection for the PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC and the Switch 1. Pretty much what that is a bunch of old arcade games, like X-Men Arcade. Remember when that was available on the 360 for like 2 weeks? Yeah, you can buy it again. You just have to go through this Marvel Maximum Collection. I'm kind of excited for it because I always wanted to play X-Men, the arcade game, and I never could. So this is my opportunity to play that one, as well as a few other games that are classics as well. I didn't look through the entire list of what games are included on that because I kind of like stopped and was like, X-Men. But I saw like Captain America 18-bit, things like that. I think it's just a bunch of arcade games that you can play now. I believe Spider-Man's probably on there, most likely. Like I said, X-Men the arcade game is the one that I'm the most interested in. Our last game coming out is Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection, which is a fucking mouthful. That's coming out also on the 27th for PS5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. It's going to be a bunch of Mega Man games. I remember Iva popped off when they revealed it, but that was about it. I didn't really. I've never been a Mega Man guy either. Shocking, I know. It looks interesting to the people who enjoy those kinds of games. It's like a re-release of the Mega Man games you couldn't play before, I'm sure. Or it's just a re-release of a bunch of old Mega Man games that you've been able to play 15 times on 15 different platforms. Considering people's excitement for it, I would bet that it's probably going to be games that people couldn't play before. In terms of movies, we got nothing. There's absolutely nothing coming out this week that's not like a re-release or like a limited release. So instead, I'll just throw it to Daredevil Born Again Season 2, which is coming out on Tuesday. If you like Daredevil, if you like Marvel, you should watch it. It's genuinely, Season 1 of the original show was really good. Season 2 was also good, but not as good. Season 3 was perfection. Born Again Season 1 was all right, and Born Again Season 2 looks even better. So you should watch them. And you don't need to watch the original show ahead of time to watch Born Again. It helps, but you don't have to. It's kind of like a fresh starting on point, like a new run of comics, basically. Also, speaking of movies, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 with Jim Carrey was announced. Jim Carrey's coming back again. even though he said he wouldn't. Again, he's actually coming back this time for the 4th installment. I watched the first 2 movies. They're pretty good. I didn't watch the 3rd one, not because I didn't want to, but because I binged the first 2 movies and was like, okay, that's all right. I think I'm good for now. They're pretty palatable movies. I just, I can't watch 3 in a row, all right? Also, regrettably, NVIDIA showed off their DLSS 5 program, which looks like shit. I'll straight up say it. It looks like dog shit. It looks terrible. It looks like AI slop, basically, because it is AI slop. Because it uses AI on a polygonal level, I think they said, to make the graphics better. They said that's not what it'll actually look like, but even still, it's not something I care to use. Even if you wanted to use it, you probably couldn't because it requires a graphics card that's probably worth the price of Malaysia. So, like 3 people will be able to run it anyway, and they'll all work for NVIDIA in the executive suite. The biggest news of this week is that the Spider-Man 4 trailer dropped. Spider-Man, what was it again? Brand New Day, which features him with the Hulk and the Punisher and with a bunch of other heroes and navigating the fact that nobody remembers who he is. So that's been pretty interesting to see all the speculation surrounding. I'm actually pretty excited to see where it goes. I'm really excited for that movie. And I'm not like the biggest Spider-Man fan, but I do like the character and I like his movies as well. But I'm pretty excited for where that movie takes it. It looks like we're finally getting Paul, everyone's favorite Spider-Man character. Paul Cuckman, who cucks Peter Parker. If you don't believe me, look it up. Look up Paul Spider-Man. I'm not kidding. I'm not making a bit. Paul is real. You've probably heard of him, actually. He cucks Spider-Man. They finally announced with the release of the latest Starfield DLC that Elder Scrolls 6 is finally entering development. Yay! Only 8 years after the announcement. Everybody move it. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, 8 years after the fact, they finally diverted all their resources to finishing development on Elder Scrolls 6, which, in my opinion, doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't working on it before, but they certainly didn't devote as much manpower to it as they should. I would expect it to release somewhere within the next 10 years. I'm assuming that they were doing like conceptual stuff in the background before, but now they're actually fully working on it. Whether or not that's a ploy just to shadow drop it because Todd Howard said he wanted to shadow drop it is another question entirely. I hope so. I hope it's just a ploy, but I don't think it is. I don't think they're fucking with us. I think they're dead serious that they have not started development on it yet. Meta also announced that they're shutting down Metaverse after pouring $80 billion into the project. And I don't know a single person that used Metaverse, and I'm not surprised. Nobody even knows what it is. I don't know what it is. But it's shutting down, so if, Metaverse is your thing, it's the end of the world. Very fortunately, though, back on the era or the side of good news, the Steam Spring Sale kicked off on Friday, I believe. So you'll be able, or Thursday, I'm sorry. So you'll be able to get some killer deals on some killer games. Get the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. It's $6. There's no reason why not. I got it on PC, and I've started replaying those games. And they're really good. And if you haven't played them yet, you should. Another thing is the Xbox Insider update. So if you're part of the Xbox Insider program, there's actually an update that's available to you with the hardware, the system, or the software, I should say. The software, the hardware. So basically, Asha Sharma, I think is her name. She took note of everything people were demanding or asking for when she started Xbox, and which was 2 weeks ago, by the way, and these are her words. She pushed it in development, and now it's already out, and you can actually download that if you're part of the Insider program to get those updates. So it's like toggle quick resume for specific games. You could get the guide to be a bit more colored and customizable, and I believe it's adding a little bit more in depth to the group system. So those are some of the things people are asking for, but like for people like me who want a little bit more in regards to achievements, I'm kind of curious as to where they'll go with that. Paramount also said that with their acquisition of Warner Brothers, they want to relaunch Multiverses with some Paramount characters. I don't see that going too well. I'm not going to lie, because they've relaunched Multiverses like twice now, 2-3 times, and every time it's shut down within a year. But that's also Warner Brothers, who's shutting things down and writing them off like nobody's fucking business. So let's hope if you're into Multiverses that Paramount does revive it. I remember we did a video on it a while ago, and it was fine. I mean, it wasn't a terrible game. It wasn't a great game either, but it was serviceable. On to the achievement of the week this week. It's Welcome to Die in the Marvel Maximum Collection. It's 10 gamer score, and you just have to hear Magneto say the iconic line in X-Men Arcade to get that achievement. In terms of videos this week, I really dropped the ball, guys. I completely forgot to upload. That's on me. My apologies. But we released one video at least, and it was in Mass Effect on the 360. It was part of the Throwback series. We'll see how in-depth that ends up being, especially with the, there's a format I've been wanting to try out for those, and we'll see how far along that gets. But that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.